Hey guys, and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Scar. I do part-time illustration work, and I hope you guys enjoy this chill little sketchbook video, but let me know if you want to see more of these in the future. I had fun making it, and it's a good exercise. I originally started the sketchbook in November of last year, which is when I attempted to do the 100 head drawing challenge and failed pretty miserably. So that's what all the portraits you see in the beginning are. I haven't worked much else in it since then. For some reason, it's really hard for me to get back into sketchbook stuff once I stop. I also have found myself in this mindset of needing to make stuff as like a finished product. Not necessarily a product, but like a finished art piece. So kind of loosening up and doing more sketch stuff and not worrying about finishing it necessarily has not really been something that my mind is willing to do. So sketchbooks have been kind of like on the back burner for me this year. Coming back to it now, I didn't have a real plan on what I wanted to draw. I just wanted to fill in the empty spaces that I had left from the drawing challenge, and then I did like 2 other sketches in here within this year. It's very sad. I have not done much work at all in this book. Oh, and if you're curious, I am using the Canson Mixed Media Rough Sketchbook. It's pretty thick paper. You can also take the pages out pretty easily because they're perforated. I like it. I'm used to using the Render brand ones where it's like the no bleed through, and I do have one on hand that I haven't finished, but it's just so large that I'm like, it's a little daunting. So this one's a little bit easier to kind of open up and not feel so stressed about. There isn't much bleed through on these pages either, but I also have not tried using paint in it, where I have used gouache in the Render sketchbook that I have, and it doesn't bleed through. It does warp the page, but it doesn't like bleed through to the other side. This one I am not so sure about. I know you can, it's thin enough that you can see it if you hold up to the light. You can see like markers through it and stuff, but it doesn't affect it when you're just looking at it. I'm not explaining this very well. Yeah, so coming back to this, I started out with a portrait because I had already been doing portraits, and I originally was like, oh, I'll just finish out this page with a few more portraits just to keep it consistent. I did not do that. As soon as I finished drawing that first one, I didn't really want to draw more people, so I moved on to other things that I found on my Pinterest that I've been saving. I use Pinterest a lot just for like inspiration in general and for like anatomy practice. I used to draw people a lot more than I do now. Now I'm kind of sticking to like more nature themes and like bugs and plants and animals and stuff, which I enjoy. I'm not like sad about it, but I do feel like my skills when it comes to figure drawing are very lacking. And because I haven't practiced it in a while, it's something that I do want to work on. So I think if I do another one of these sketchbook videos, I'll probably focus on anatomy specifically. I do also, as I watched myself drawing the hair in this, I do need to make a video specifically about how I draw hair. I'm getting around to it. I don't know how I want to approach it yet because I'm not that like much of a teacher, I guess. Like I can explain what I'm doing, but getting into like a way of teaching it where it's fully understandable, that part's hard for me. Like I can show you tips and tricks and stuff, but like going from basics to where I'm at now, it's a little hard to formulate in my mind, I guess. But yeah, in another sketchbook video probably I'll do anatomy practice, or maybe I'll do it digitally. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes when I get there. I've also been gravitating more towards colored pencils lately and figuring out how to layer them. Like I was saying with like the figure drawing practice and stuff, I feel like the more you don't use the skills that you've learned in the past, the easier they are to lose and forget. So I used to do colored pencil stuff a lot, and because I haven't been using them as much, I was kind of struggling. I always use the Prismacolor brand, the color erase ones, but I believe I also used some Prang colored pencils. Another thing of note, I know that this video makes it look like I did this all in one sitting. It took me maybe a week to put all of these sketches inside the sketchbook. I was really struggling with like figuring out what I wanted to draw, how I wanted to draw it, how I wanted the page to look, which is another thing that like I used to be really good at with sketchbooks, not worrying about the layout, because it's not supposed to be for anyone else, really. It's just supposed to be for practice. It's the whole point of sketchbooks, is practicing and honing skills. So the fact that I was like getting all anxious about, oh, but this page is gonna be like all weird if I put this thing here instead of on this side, and like, oh, I need the foliage to curve a certain way so it can fill this empty space. That's not the point of a sketchbook. There's a lot of discourse online about trying to make your sketchbooks look a certain way, and I've always hated it. I've always said that it's not important. The most important thing that you can get out of your sketchbook is developing skills and learning new things. It doesn't matter how messy it is. It doesn't matter if you write in it. You could literally fill a whole page with just like a journal entry if you wanted. If that's what you want to do with your sketchbook, then do it. Like, it's not for anyone else. If it's something that helps you creatively and helps you feel more inspired to draw or paint, whatever, it's for you. That is like the main point that I'm trying to get across here. I feel like there's a lot of pressure when it comes to like keeping a sketchbook and keeping it pristine and pretty to look at. And you see artists online who have like these curated pages of their sketchbooks that they're sharing, and it feels daunting. It really doesn't need to be. You don't have to share your sketchbook if you don't want to, which I personally am also struggling with a little bit, especially with this video that I was making. I, at the beginning, was spending days just looking at Pinterest and trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to draw. It was not that serious. It is never that serious. Pick something that you want to try and emulate, or something you want to develop your skills in, and start. Like, you can draw the same thing 5 pages in a row if you want. If it helps you develop a skill, go for it. There was even a point in this video where I cover something up with a post-it note because I really didn't like how it looked. And the reason I didn't like glue it down is because I enjoy being able to go through my old sketchbooks and lift up those post-it notes and see what I drew underneath and see if I feel differently about them later. Because yeah, in the moment when I was looking at it, I was like, ugh, this is not at all what I was going for. This is not what I wanted to look like. I hate this. And I drew something over it, but I didn't want to permanently remove it, because like if you're not able to look back on what you've drawn, or like look back on the work that you've created and see where you can improve, or maybe see things that you didn't notice before that you liked about it, you're kind of limiting yourself, I feel. There's a lot of times where I've gone through my old sketchbooks from like when I was in high school, and at the time when I was drawing in them, I felt very negatively about the way I was drawing, the fact that I couldn't get what was inside my head across on the page. But now I look back on them and I'm like, wow, I was really good with mechanical pencils. Like, how did I do that? I don't remember being able to do that. I was capable at one point. I will be capable again if I put the effort in, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of trailing off now, but basically a sketchbook is for you. If you want to share it, that is up to you. And obviously this is my personal opinion. This is not like a rule or anything. If that's not how you feel about it, that is totally fine. That is your prerogative, but this is just how I've always approached my sketchbooks, or at least trying to remind myself now of how to approach a sketchbook. But for the most part, this is how I've approached sketchbooks. It has really helped me kind of like loosen up a little bit, because I do tend to be quite the perfectionist when it comes to how I make art and what I share and all of that. So sketchbooks are just an easy way to be like, okay, I don't like this page. We're moving on to the next one. I'll come back to it. Like, it shouldn't be so stressful. And I think that's all that I want to rant about. So I'm going to leave you guys to the rest of this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will come back with another vlog style video soon. It might be a little bit lacking in content, art making wise, just because I have been really busy with coursework and stuff, and I'm about to go on vacation with my partner, so it might be a little bit of a shorter video. But regardless, I hope to see you all there. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk anymore. Thank you, as always, for watching and commenting. You guys have been really sweet on the last couple videos, and I really appreciate all the kind words and all the support. You guys are great, and I hope to see you all again in my next one. Bye!